You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Wednesday, the 9th of April 2025, and you're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. And yesterday was the day that I found out this...
Hjertestarter
is actually Norwegian for defibrillator. Now, it doesn't sound that funny when you hear it said like that, but written, it looks like it says Hjertestarter. And yeah, we passed a defibrillator in the airport that had Hjertestarter written on it, and that really made me laugh. So yes, I did end up going to Norway yesterday, because I think I did the podcast from before I reported. Yep. So we got to Norway, did a night stop, and I couldn't sleep. All this jet lag that I still had from my previous trip caught up with me, so I was absolutely fine to work. But then I really struggled to sleep at night. Now, bearing in mind we arrived at what was gone 1 a.m. local time, and they started breakfast at 6:30. I did not get a wink of sleep before they started breakfast. So I thought it might be a good idea to have my breakfast and then try and sleep. And I did. I managed to do that, thankfully. So breakfast was, because it's a buffet, I was able to have purely keto kind of stuff, so no carbohydrates. So I basically had meat, cheese and eggs, and I had a reasonable amount, although I haven't had much else to eat since, so I am quite hungry now. But yeah, so it was good. It was a good breakfast, and then I managed to get some sleep. My alarm call woke me up, and we flew back to Heathrow, and we were doing a thing called a fixed link, which means we stay with the aeroplane. So the aeroplane was turned around very quickly on the ground. About 50 minutes usually is how long it takes. I think that's how long it took us. We stayed with the aeroplane. It got cleaned, recatered, and then we took the same aeroplane to where I am now, which is... my brain's just gone... Vienna. My brain's just switched off. Vienna in Austria. Which is also a place I'm particularly fond of. Now, unfortunately, because of the sleeping thing, I really didn't get any writing done yesterday. It's frustrating, this. I've been listening to old episodes of this just to try and work out at what point I started talking about the writing. And certainly I did start talking about the writing. So I've just listened to a load from July and August last year. And in July, I finished, this is how much work I've done since then. I'd finished the 32 chapters. I'd finished editing and doing like the edit work on the 32 chapters of Empress of the Trees that I'd written. But I hadn't, bear in mind, I'd written those ages ago, like a couple of years before that. And I decided to move on to a write edit model, and thought the best way to do that was to edit the stuff I'd already written and then move on to a write edit model for every chapter. And so I kind of, I've finished, I've done chapter 32, so everything I've written is edited. And then it took me forever to get round to starting chapter 33, which was the new material. And it kind of feels a bit like this now, because I kind of did all that work at the end of my trip to, where was I, Las Vegas. And I was only 30 pages away from getting that done. And I'm still 30 pages away from getting that done. Like I said to you yesterday, I've now got the list of things I need to look at. I will sleep tonight, because I didn't get a massive amount of sleep in Norway. I got enough for me to not feel tired at work, but now I'm at the hotel, I do feel tired. So hopefully I will have a really good sleep tonight. I mean, local time, it's not quite midnight, which is nice. And sort of UK time, obviously, it'll be about just after 11 o'clock by the time I post this. So it's late, but at least it's, as my rule is, it has to be within the 24 hours of the day. I couldn't post it at 1 a.m. and call it yesterday's podcast. So tomorrow, a few of us are going to meet up and go for a little walk, and we shall see if I can be bothered. Well, I'd kind of like to, because I don't get to do these places very often. But if I can, I will try and do, at some point on this trip, I'd like to maybe try and finish signing off Still Life. I don't know whether I will. I'd like to, but I don't know whether I will. So for the last 3 days now, I have avoided nearly all carbohydrates. So I allow myself 50 grams of carbs a day, which basically is enough for my body to think, oh, where's that then? Why haven't you got carbs coming in? And hopefully it'll help me to lose some weight. So on the flight today, there was a crew meal that I just ate the meat part because I couldn't eat the rice, because obviously that's full of carbs. And I'd bought myself some snacks for the previous day. So I was all right yesterday eating. I bought some nut snacks and stuff from Marks and Spencer. But I didn't manage to do that yesterday, it's really annoying because I've just realised there was a shop in the hotel and it probably would have been a bit expensive, but I could have bought some bits and pieces to help me. But then I'm not feeling massively hungry right now, so that's not so bad. Yeah, so as I say, we're in Vienna in Austria. We do that, so we take a flight at a similar time tomorrow. Actually, we take a flight back to Heathrow, and then instead of staying on the same aeroplane, we have a bit of a gap before our next flight, which brings us into, where am I going next? Prague. So I haven't looked at the timings, but I think I'll probably have to record the podcast tomorrow during those 2 hours in the middle, because I think if I leave it to when we get to Prague, there won't be a podcast tomorrow. Let me just check the timings of that. So Vienna, Prague. Yeah, we're due to arrive in Prague maybe. Oh, is it a shorter flight? Yeah, it looks like it's a shorter flight, actually, slightly. So we're not due to land till about 10 o'clock UK time. So it's similar to here, actually. Anyway, so sorry it's not much of a writing update, but hey, like I said, this is the diary of a wannabe writer, and sometimes it's more diary than wannabe writer. That's it for today. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, and I'm going to post a picture of the Hjertestarter on Instagram, because it's a joke that works better visually than it does me telling it. So if you listen to the links that are about to come out, the link tree that I list at the end of in the end credits of this has all my social media, and all the social media will have, well, all the main social media sites will have that photo of the Hjertestarter up there. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.